Hey, what's up, everyone? Don't forget to email me at loslibertinos210@gmail.com to get information about the event that I'm going to be having here at my home for Cinco de Mayo weekend. It will be May 7th. We are going to have a 1 year anniversary show episode with Bug Johnson from the Counterflow podcast, Matt Erickson from the King Pilled podcast, Andrew from Popular Liberty podcast, and Kyle Anslone from the Conflicts of Interest podcast. We're going to have a 2 or 3 hour show here, depending on how the flow goes. It'll be highly produced episode that I'm trying to put out, and also we're going to have a good cabrito that my primo is going to make, and then of course after the episode is recorded and done with, we will party and hang out and watch the Canelo fight. So it's going to be a good weekend, a good Saturday evening, and I hope you can make it out. Once again, email me at loslibertinos210@gmail.com to get information and get your ticket by just doing a pitch in there. So just email me for information. I'll hook you up, and hope to see you there. Peace. Welcome, everyone, to Los Libertinos podcast. I am your host, Carlos Abelard, and this is Chingazos and Fire, episode number 41. Our guest today is Nick Scorpion. She is the queen of Facebook bans. She is the host of Naked Intelligence Raw podcast. She's been a massage therapist for over 18 years and is currently working on finishing her first book called Naked Intelligence. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
How you doing?
And the book is called Gossip and the Truth.
There you go. Gossip and the
Yes.
truth. So we'll get it
Yes.
all. So we will get all into that right now. And
Oh, yeah.
for any of my audience that doesn't know who you are, can you give us a background of your born, raised, siblings, family, and some of your educational, if you
Sure.
can, something like that. And then also kind of how you got started into having an eye for trying to catch some of the false narratives that are out there, that are put out there. So yeah, come a little background story, please.
Okay. Well, I am San Antonio, Texas, born and raised my whole life. And I came up with the show probably about 2015. 2014 is when I actually had the idea for the show. I was just getting out of a 12-year marriage, and I wanted to do other art ventures that I would say I wasn't allowed to do, being married. And now that I was out of the marriage, I was going to do what I wanted to do. And when I started taking pictures and modeling and doing my own photography and posting my own pics, I saw people's reactions. They did not really understand and were very surprised why I was being so provocative, sexy, whatever you want to call it. And I saw how everybody's projections kind of came out on the comment thread, and all their own insecurities and things like that my nudity brought out. And it brought me to the idea of doing a nude talk show, just the way that nudity made people react. So positive and negative.
Okay. And in doing that show, you've grown into it. What have you learned from doing it?
Oh man. I mean, we did it for 6 years. So all those years we were super active in either going to South by Southwest or doing other festivals, shows and things like that. And I'm actually I'm learning and realizing what I've learned through the journey as I'm writing the book. So
Mm,
that's really what's gonna, bring things to light is going back through all the archives of all the pictures and all the videos and there's shit I forgot. Like, I was going through there and I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about this. So, um, the one thing I learned business wise is always have a contract.
okay.
Always have things in writing. Um, you know, there keep friends separate from business. And if I wanted to improve things, I probably would improve my social. I don't know how to say it. I feel like people can't approach me, like they're scared to approach me for things. And I don't know if the show did that or my truth telling on social media did that, made me so unapproachable. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but
Yeah,
I'm learning.
so yeah, no, that's cool. So you came onto my radar, of course the Facebook algorithms started having you come on my feed, and it was during like towards the end of the last couple of years of the Trump years, but you were kind
Okay.
of supportive of some of his actions, and not all, but I think a lot of the times you were pointing out like the double standard of how the media and people were going against Trump, and then recently, or in the last couple of years, you spoke very loudly against the COVID regime policies and all of that. So combining a little bit of the two there, in hindsight, what do you how do you feel that Trump could have handled the situation, the pandemic, a little differently than he did? I know it's hard. It's easier once it's already passed, but how do you feel that he could have done better on it?
I don't feel that he could have done any better on the pandemic part. I feel that he could have been better with his mouth.
And what do
But
you mean by that?
that he puts his foot in his mouth a lot, and he says what he wants to say. And maybe that's why I understand him, because I say what I want to say too, whether you believe it to be true or not. I'm going to say what I want to say. And a lot of things that are coming out now, it points to Trump was right. It was true. As much as we wanted to call him a liar and he's lied about this or he said this, the things that we were trying to look away from and say he's lying actually came out to be true. So, I feel like he's a he's a character within himself, and he already had his own, the way people looked at him. They already looked at him that way. And for the media to like really, really just they were trying way too hard, in my opinion, to make him look like an idiot. He does that by himself. So I don't understand why you're trying so damn hard to make it even worse. So that lets me know that you're covering something up. You're trying to make us look away from the truth or something. He's talking too much. And he was. If you paid attention, he was spitting things out here and there that they were like, no, no, don't listen to him. He's an idiot, making a big deal about it. And it's like now those things are true. And, it doesn't matter though, because people are not going to admit it. They're not going to say Trump was right. They will never say those words. Only people who are mature enough to see what's what will actually say, you know what, I was had.
Yeah.
But it
What do
is
you
what it is.
what did you think about his relationship with Fauci? Fauci, they had their tensions, but that was one thing that I thought that he's always been very anti-establishment, but he kind of went with the flow on that end. I mean, especially since Fauci's not technically, I don't know how the technicalities of it, but I guess he's not like an elected official or anything. He's just, he could have, put somebody else, but he kind of played along on that front. Do you think he made a mistake on that front, or he was just trying the best he could with the team he had around him? It's a lot of pressure for sure that
Yeah.
he had,
I think that he couldn't. I think Fauci's untouchable. That's what I think. I don't think even Trump could have touched Fauci. Fauci's been there for what, over 30 years. He's untouchable. I hadn't. I'm not political. I've never voted in my life. That's my protest. My protest is that I don't even trust this system. I don't like the choices given. So I choose not to participate in the system that you give me. But I've never really been political too much um, until maybe about the Obama years. And then when I started seeing such a shift of ideas and things that we would call conspiracy theories now started to lay out as being true. And it was eye-opening, because all I could say, because my friends would tell me, I had conspiracy theory friends, that would tell me things. And conspiracy theories are just that. I don't have any facts, so that's why I don't talk about like they're drinking, the blood of babies and having, Satanist, ceremonies. I don't have proof of that. I can only talk about what I have proof of. I can believe or think they're doing these things, but I don't have no proof of that.
Yeah. Recently, you had posted a question on your Facebook page that I thought was interesting, and it was kind of you were trying to make the point that recently with the slap heard around the world that many of us or people in general, the general public, that we have an attachment to celebrities that's unhealthy, that we attach our emotional reactions to their lives for people that they wouldn't even know who we are or anything. And it creates a stress on us that even possibly creates us to be unhealthy inside, and it could cause like disease and all of that. Why do you think our society technically maybe probably has always had an attraction to this to celebrities? Because I don't think it's something recent. I mean, it's celebrities and all that stuff's been going on forever. So what is it about that mindset of for someone to try to get into that? And if somebody's into that mindset and wants to get out, how do they break out of that?
Well, we want to be like them. We want to be rich and we want to be famous and what we think is beautiful and perfect. And those celebrities represent that. And we attach ourselves to them. And we think you need to be these superhuman people to be rich, or to be an actor or to be so talented to have all that money and that life. So they're up on a pedestal in your mind. It also has to do with how little you think of yourself. They're so great and you're so not, and they represent me. And we attach the skin color to them too. Oh my god, now they're gonna think all black men slap people. It's like and we just attach ourselves. And now it's very, I guess, narcissistic if you think about it. It's all about yourself. Oh my god, what are they gonna think of us? It's so dramatic. And it's we make our own TV, series going on. That's what Facebook allows us to do, is make this dramified, happy life that, or I'm mad. And you know it's so silly.
Yeah.
It's
And
all manipulative.
so when it happened, I kind of uh got into that mindset. To my so in the last year, my family, we've basically turned off the cable, and we feel that we're a lot healthier for it. The nightly news is basically like it's stressful to watch the nightly news. I mean, now I would really watch it for the weather stuff because when I work in construction, but without the nightly news, you can feel that yeah, I mean, I guess somebody got shot today, but I don't know. I mean, maybe, I mean, it's just, you just feel a lot better about it. But in this case, whether it was staged or not, I kind of tend to think that it wasn't, that it was something like a raw moment that happened. I played into like it being like a funny thing, that it was like kind of a little bit unscripted. To me, that's the way I took it, was that, oh shit, this vato just slapped that other vato right across the face. And so yeah, I kind of feed into it a little bit, but sometimes I just try to take it that it's entertainment, if you can see it that way. And yeah, some people shouldn't get too emotional about it, but there are some people, I guess, like me, that just see it like entertainment. And I tend to think that most of it is like that. But did you think that it was staged or real? What was your take on it? Because that was a little bit of like back and forth. I kind of noticed online that oh, he pulled his punch,
I
or he
think
pulled
it
the
was
slap,
fake.
or this is that, so what was your take?
In my heart, I feel like it was fake. That didn't have any energy or realness to me whatsoever. Even getting the camera view of behind Jada, and she's laughing after it happened, So you never know. These are actors,
Yeah.
and the government and people lie to us all the time. And I think we just don't want to believe it. We just don't want to believe that it's that blatantly lying to us, And we have so much proof in the past of them lying to us, and we still want to deny it. We're still in denial. We still want to believe in the goodness of the American government, and it's like, and the media, you believe everything, on what you saw on the TV. I gave my cable up 5 years ago. I said, I don't need no cable. I don't even watch news. I didn't watch the news when I had cable. Like, I don't need to know who was shot and there was a drive-by. And I know they're out there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Right. I'm gonna pick and choose what I'm gonna pay attention to, and what I'm gonna, what news I really should be paying attention to.
Yeah, so that's a good lead in. So what are so I have I call them like pace setters or sources that I kind of watch, like the podcasts that I like, the different shows that I like to watch, just because I I could be wrong, but I think they're sincere in the way that they put out their information. What are your sources of information or shows that you kind of get into that you like, or that that way people kind of know, like, oh, okay, that's, let me check that out or something.
I can't.
If you have any, maybe
I
you just
don't. I
freestyle a lot.
don't have any. What I do is I see what's out there, and then I'll research that. Is it true coming from that source, and what other sources are putting it out? Are they more liberal? Are they more conservative? So I know who's writing it and who's trying to mold my mind here. Um, you know, if there's other sources around the world that are giving the same information, did they get it from that person? There's a lot of,
Okay.
you gotta pay attention to what you're reading, and don't just read it and take it in and think it's real.
Yeah. No.
Everything could be fake now.
Yeah. No, I hear you. No, actually, what it sounds like is like, well, so I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of that, but it sounds like your pace setter is your own research. Like your own research is your pace setter. It's like that. It's okay. That's cool. In preparing for the interview, I watched your video on the secret satanic covenant, and talking about like the Will Smith stuff and all that. Like we always use the term, they, we say it when we hear it
The
too.
Illuminati.
When we hear it, we know we hear the they. So my question is, who is the they to you? Like, what is that? You mentioned media, government, like, is they a complex of all of these, or do you have a specific they in your mind?
They are the families who own the world, and they own the companies who own the world. There's companies and companies and companies and companies. They all just trickle down from the main company, from the mothership. And that's really what's happening, is these, families that own the world, who own the banks, who own the media. If you can pay attention, and you just have to you got to follow the money trail, and you'll see it. You'll see who owns what, and who the mothership is, and then you can read what family belongs to the mothership, and that's who's running everything.
Hey, what's up? If you're listening to this ad spot, it's probably because you're halfway through the show, which means that you like what I'm doing, which means that if you also want to support what I'm doing, you can check out palomaverdecbd.com. That is the official sponsor of the show. It is also a company that my wife and I run out of our home. It is a premium grade CBD company where you can get all of your CBD products that you need, from tinctures, salves, soft gels, pet products, And we have some new products, which are massage oils and bath bombs. So if you are looking for any type of CBD products and also want to support the show, visit palomaverdecbd.com. Use the promo code Chingazos, CHINGASOS, for 20% off anything off the store, off your order. So please visit palomaverdecbd.com. Appreciate the support. Peace. So during COVID, what would have been their agenda? I know, being in the libertarian circles for many years, the one of the, I don't even think you can call it a conspiracy. I mean, they put it out there. So it's like, what was the COVID agenda for these types of families? Was it like, does it go back to like the depopulation style conspiracy that, I mean, is it that one? I mean, they put their stuff out there, I mean.
I'm going to tell you what I feel from my research. And I feel that COVID was a live exercise. When Bill Gates has Event 201 right before we have the breakout, there's just too many things that are coincidental. We're over here funding gain of function research. We actually do make the bat virus stick to human cells, because the bat virus by itself doesn't stick to human cells. So we made it stick to human cells. However they did that, everything leads to, having bioweapons labs in the Ukraine. So maybe we were blaming China for everything. I don't know. We did fund the Wuhan, lab, but now we know we got bioweapons labs in the Ukraine underground. What? Like, all this is coming out. Fauci lying straight to Congress about gain of function. Like, all of a sudden we don't know what gain of function is. All of a sudden we don't know what a human immune system is. All of us, it was so ridiculous. And it was a live exercise to see if you're going to comply with it. How were the people going to act when we put all this out, scare them to death, and see how the rats are going to scramble? And that's what they did. It's a live exercise. They all got together. They know what's going on. It's garnering in robotics. It's taking you out of their workforce. I told people this in 2020. I said, this is what's happening. They want you comfortable at home. We'll scare you to stay home. You won't even want to go to work. And then we'll cut you a bunch of checks. You're going to get very comfortable getting those checks, right? You'll feel, oh, maybe I do want to stay home. Maybe I do want the government to take care of me. This is a nice little check, and plus my unemployment. And, you start getting all comfortable. Oh, where's that stimulus? Why haven't we gotten that stimulus? You get real comfortable. Now we'll get you out of the workforce. We open up the first grocery store. How did the first grocery store was ready? Employee-less grocery store, Amazon groceries. How was that ready? The pandemic starts, boom, employee-less grocery store opens up right away. They're ready. Now we have 3 of them up. They might have their 4th up by now. I don't know. So there you go. Now we've wiped out how many jobs in just a grocery store? How many jobs is that? There might be maybe 2 people there to mind the machines, or, to your checkout, or you might have to call a 1-800 number if your card don't go through. Who knows? But now you're comfortable at home. You don't want to touch no people because they told us everybody's contagious, and you don't want to be next to nobody. So you don't even want to go nowhere. So now they can come in and control everything. And you'll feel comfortable with that control because they'll tell you that it's for your safety. Yeah. We're going to take your rights for your safety. We're going to tell you all the science stuff you ever knew for the last 25 years of the human body is all wrong. And it's really this way. No, it's not. Like, the way the human body works didn't just change overnight, but everybody believed it because fear was such a thick blanket to put over everybody, and they were crippled to even think logically. They were so crippled by it. They're taking 3 shots in a year and a half, going on their 4th of an experimental shot. I'm in awe I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I really, really do. It's crazy. But this is the thinning. This is the eugenics. That's what it is. The strong will survive and the weak will fail. You know, the weak will fall for the story. They will get in line as many times because I scared them so much. I'll keep scaring them. I'll keep telling them it's the best thing for them to get a shot no matter what. Even though you have a 99% chance of living, you still need this shot.
Yeah.
Even when they die with 3 shots, they say, well, thank God they were still vaccinated. It could have been worse. Like, what? Where are we?
Yeah, I have so I've tried to bring the COVID policies and the fear mongering and I've tried to kind of tie it to some to 9/11, after 9/11, because it was 9/11 was, you know, a
False
situation.
flag. False flag operation. That's what that was, to scare everybody into war. That's exactly what that was, a false flag.
So is that your, like, you don't think it was like an actual attack, like a blowback attack?
The main, to me, the main component that proves it to me without having any other information is how that building fell. The building being demolition like that is proof enough to me that there's some bullshit going on here.
Yeah.
You cannot convince me. I'm not even an engineer, but you're not going to tell me that the building just falls like that after we have witnesses that heard bombs go off.
Yeah,
Like,
the 2 buildings that got hit, I could give the benefit, you know, I kind of be like, okay, well, they got hit, but building 7, that's always been funky to me. Like, how does a building that didn't even get hit with a plane fall? You know, that one right there's the one that I've always thought was kind of weird. But uh, for the purposes of the parallels that I was trying to, the point was like that you know, it's a government made problem, and then they offer up the solution and they have to scare everybody into submission. So
and
the
then we all become patriots, right? We're all,
yeah,
yeah, go
and then
get
the
them.
virus thing too, right? A government made problem, right? Because it's gain of function
It's
stuff. So,
man-made.
something probably leaked, or it was either purposely, whatever it is, but it was man made, and they create the problem and all that. But the parallels that I kind of thought was that, yeah, but like what this was kind of it didn't come into mind until when they had the new names for all. I already forgot the names of them, but to me, it just felt like different. Remember, like when it was Al Qaeda, and then it changed to different a name, and then it was like there was different
ISIS.
ISIS and all these different ones, and ISIS, Syria, all these different names. To me, it started feeling like that, and it took us 20 years to get out of Afghanistan. Uh, how do you think we're gonna play on this COVID one? Because it feels like we're like we're getting over it. I'm a sports fan, so we've, you know, the sports stuff kind of was the stuff that started opening up for, I guess, for for general public, you know, and stuff like that. I feel like we're kind of towards the end here, where there's less masking, less like it's, but you know, how do you think that's going to play out?
Event 201 ended in 18 months. That's not the exercise, but the exercise that was within the paperwork that they were talking about doing.
Can you talk about that? I've never heard of it. I already just mentioned earlier,
Okay.
and I just assumed it was maybe like you know, like the way that they did before 9/11, some like you know, like operations,
exercise?
like war exercise. Yeah, war. Okay, so without knowing exactly, that's what I took it. But go ahead, and can you kind of
Yes.
explain to us what it
This
is?
was Bill Gates. It was presented by Bill Gates. It was Event 201. You can look it up. It was done in October, and then bam, within December we have a pandemic breakout of a coronavirus. The Event 201 was an exercise of a coronavirus spreading across the world, killing so many people, and then them giving out vaccines, you know, so on and so forth. Like, it's the same story. Maybe some details were different in the paper exercise, but then all of a sudden we start a coronavirus pandemic, you know, for real exercise. And I don't remember what's his name had said it live on TV with Trump. You know, Trump had spoken and then he moved. And I don't remember who this guy was, but he was like, you have to remember, people, we're in a live exercise right now. And Trump
Oh
whispers
yes,
over, Yeah, Trump whispers over and goes, "Well, you should have told us that," you know. And it was like there's
Yeah, who
little
was that?
instances like that. It's
Pompeo?
on
Was it
C-SPAN.
Pompeo? I think Pompeo, right? The
Yes,
Secretary of
yes,
Defense guy, right? We're in a
yes,
live exercise, right?
yes.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, okay. So that is part of the game plan. Again, I'm about to say it that they use and
It's the Great Reset. It's part of the Great Reset. The fall of America is part of the Great Reset because that is one of the components of the Great Reset. On their video, it said that America will no longer be the superpower of the world. It will work together with other great nations to help the world together.
okay. Being a superpower in itself, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I feel that it's a good thing, I guess, for us since we kind of live our lives without really knowing all of the bad things we do around the world, right? I mean, we kind of,
You
we
have to
don't
do bad
experience.
things to be number one. You're gonna have to kill people. You're gonna, I'm not saying that we've been like great. We invade people. We go tell them how they need to run and there's always some other underhanded, thing that they're gonna have to keep paying us for the rest of their lives. We're the thugs of the world. I get that. I've always felt that even as a child in history class. I felt that history was a sad subject. I liked learning it, but it was sad to me as a child.
Hmm.
That's it just is. Even if it was, that was scripted and I only know so much, even in what they told me, I knew that there was some tragedy and tragic bullshit here. And we're bullies.
Yeah, no, for sure. I tend to take that approach too, and I hope that we become less interventionist, but like you said, follow the money, and those the arms industry isn't gonna just let that go, you know.
No.
But
You're
to go ahead.
But Europe owns us. That's really what it is. The Great Reset comes from Europe, and that's everybody's been trying to take down America for the longest time, and you can only take it down through the inside. Whether it's China trying to take them down, Europe, Russia, whoever. Like everybody's been wanting to try to take America down for running the world with the American dollar. The American dollar is going to fall at some point. We're going to go digital, and now we won't have cash. We won't, they're going to be tracking everything and in control of everything. They can just put a block on it. Nope, you don't have no credits today. you know,
Yeah, like the
like
China has like the, I don't know what it's called, like the human credit score or whatever it is,
the
like
social credit
social
score.
credit score. Yeah, yeah. So I'm already starting to hear about that coming here, or they're going to implement it through businesses first, like whether you're green, like whether you're a green business and stuff like that, and then they'll slowly do it
We
that way.
already have it here. To me, your credit score kind of controls you to what you're allowed to do, but not in the not in the sense like in China. Like in China, they let you know what level you're at with that score. You're not allowed to buy these things or get these things, type of crap.
Yeah. So to kind of shift a little bit of the conversation, you also had an interesting post that you put on Facebook, also set up kind of as a question. And
Mhm.
what it was about, it was you basically asked the question like, oh, why is it that men feel the need to compete with women? And until I got married, I always felt that I was competing with other men for to get a good woman. Uh, but I didn't think I was competing against women. But one story that I think you might find fascinating was that one time I was running, and I'm from San Antonio too, so we can, before St. Mary's University had, they had the running track, and I was running out there, and this one girl, I could tell that she was trying to like pass me up, but I didn't let her pass me up because there was just something about me that I didn't want her to pass me up. But I had never I didn't know my body had that in me to I had never sweat like that. I had never kept a pace like that. And what I learned from that was that it's good to have a girl by your side that can keep you, like she's a good pace setter together, you can roll together. But gosh, that was like 10 or 12 years ago. But I have a good wife right now, everything's good, but you still make the point that you feel that in society men are competing against women. What did you mean by that? And can you kind of explain further and what you meant by that?
Um, I wanted to see what everybody else thought, and only one man said that no, women are competing with men. Um, I think it goes both ways. So I'm not like of course, my perspective is from a woman's perspective. So, and it's from my own experiences. And I really try not to color my opinion of somebody with that. But it's a little difficult if you continuously have the same experiences uh, with the same opposite sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
So
trend. It's a trend.
you kind of just come to a conclusion that, okay, maybe most guys are like this, or it's hard not to think that, or most women are like this.
What are some examples that you've experienced when you say that?
And I meant like on social media too.
Okay.
On social media, hold on, my battery's dying. On social media, men are better parents. Well, it's like everything is a fucking competition. And it all started back in the day when we had to go into the workplace, in my opinion, and then start competing for jobs, and then when we started seeing our paychecks and having the freedom that we had, then we realized I don't need to put up with your shit. So I don't need to be with a man. I can pay for my stuff, because basically that was a woman's message and choice was, you better find yourself a good man, because what are you going to do? If you don't find yourself a good man, you're going to be alone, and you need a man to take care of you. And I was born in 1977. That's the first year women could have a bank account without a man.
I didn't know that. Well, really? Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know that.
Yes. I didn't know that either until maybe a year or two ago. That was fucking crazy to me. 1988, a woman could have her own business account, so it wasn't that long ago.
That's not long ago. That's not long at
No,
all.
at
That's not long
all.
at all. So when you asked that, at the time, my initial reaction, because it wasn't in the news as much as it was, but it was around there. But it was about, what I thought the question was about was that not directly, so
About
indirectly, like,
trans?
well, it was about, yes, it was about like the sports stuff that has been going on, about,
Right.
recently the swimming stuff. And you didn't put in the word trans, you said men and women, but to me, being a sports person and all that, I'm kind of, I kind of know that. But yeah, okay, so you already kind of knew what I was already might have been thinking. So what is
Oh, yeah.
your take on, if you look at the question that way, and like the trans agenda, and I don't know, your view on, I don't know, the societal.
I've been called transphobic numerous times. I've been unfriended.
Okay.
I try to talk scientifically. I mean, I've tried to research, I've read other doctors' stuff. Um, People try to say chromosomes make up, gender, which is not necessarily true, because there isn't just two chromosome pairs. There's 7, apparently. So, I could see where somebody, I don't feel like all this trans is just like natural. I feel like there's something going on, whether it's the narrative or the chemicals in the food, the water. We've been eating and drinking and breathing plastic for the last 20 years. So, who the hell knows how that's going to affect human existence.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I haven't done research like that, but
Right.
I would tend to think that there probably were trans people forever. They just maybe
Right.
didn't, like, I don't know. I
Was
guess
there
maybe they took different forms in the 1900s, 1800s. I don't
was
know.
there
I don't know. But definitely there's a feel for sure that
I'm
there's.
sorry, I'm trying.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that there's more of it, but um, you know, do you think that? So one thing that I did hear about on an interview was that I guess that girls are having a little bit more trouble, young girls that were they're having a little bit more of a there's been an uptick in like suicides from them or when they start I don't know this lady that I forgot her name, but she was basically saying she wrote a book, and it was just that they feel like they want to be in the crowd of that going on, so they'll say that they're transitioning or something, but then they have like I don't know, I kind of so that was something that did feel like okay, that's a new something new going on, but
That's why our children shouldn't be even discussing this. Like, I don't, there's it's just way too much stuff
it's
going
too
on. I
much,
don't I
right?
don't understand. Yes. I don't understand. And I don't understand why we need to confuse and why we're trying to fuse the sexes together and act like it doesn't matter at all. And you know, it's weird to me. But I don't know. Just like I said, it's the garnering in of robotics, and robotics in itself is actually the imitation of a human being. They want the perfect human, and that's why we continue to try to build a better and better robot, because we want a perfect human. And then the story is that later that perfect human who can use all of its brain comes to the conclusion that it's you who sucks and they need to get rid of you because you're the one destroying everything. You humans.
Yeah. Um,
That's the Terminator, story is we create robot and robot figures out that we're the ones fucking shit up. So, execute.
yeah, yeah, no, there's definitely a shift in the way that the economy and everything is gonna happen. But there's been these shifts before. I'm assuming, like from farming and all of that went industrial, and then now we have all of the technology to go digital on another fronts. But I guess I tend to think that people for a long time will still need a plumber, an electrician, and things like that. There's going to be some things for sure, some traits that robots
Yeah.
can't do, that
Yeah.
they can't do. So, hey, anybody out there, be sure you teach your kids some traits before you send them off to a college that's going to teach them all kinds of
Yes.
weird stuff.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So a trait that you've been doing for a while and for it sounds like your career is like a part of your career is that you've been a massage therapist for over 18 years.
Yes.
Now it's usually not always the case, but to me it feels like a lot of the times it is, and it's that you guys are going to be more open to like Eastern style vibes, holistic medicine, kind of those kind of vibes. Since you
Yes.
kind of started your career 18 years ago to now, how has the industry kind of morphed into what it is now? Or has it been an industry that's pretty steady and it's stayed the way it has been, or is there some changes coming in the future?
Um, it's not my full time. I couldn't do it full time. It's a lot of work. I've done it full time before. To make the money that I want to make a week, I really have to kill myself and give a lot of myself. Uh, my massages are a lot of deep tissue and a lot of energy given and taken from the person, because I absorb what I'm taking from you,
Mm.
and then I have to find ways of getting rid of that.
Oh wow, that's the way you approach it like that. I never heard it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
interesting.
Because I'm touching you and I'm releasing your tension and I'm grabbing that from you, that energy, and also releasing it back into your body so maybe you can release it yourself.
Oh wow,
So,
no, that's interesting. I never heard of it said in that way. No, that's a unique way of doing. I always just thought that they were just, I mean, I had never heard it the way you just
yeah.
were putting it, and maybe they do it that way. Maybe they think of it that way. I've never talked to anybody like that, so that's nice to think of it. If I get a massage from somebody else, I'll think of maybe they're trying to take some of my
Not
tension
not,
away.
not everybody is that good, and not everybody also wants to address what's hurting them. I'm not for everybody. A lot of people have come to me, they say, oh no, that hurts, and they don't come back, and I understand that. It takes 3 massages. You need 3 massages. The first one's gonna hurt. The second one might be uncomfortable a little bit, but not like the first one. And the third one, you're gonna be buttered.
Perfect. So over the years of doing the massaging and the massage therapists and the podcast and all that, you are tying all of that into a new book that you're planning on putting out. Can you talk about the new book that you are trying to put out and the
It's
concept
basically
behind it and all that? Yeah.
it's basically the story of naked intelligence. That's it's how it started, the relationship between me and my co-host, and how it ended. So, from beginning to end.
From beginning to end. Perfect. Thank you, Nicole, for coming on the show. Can you please put on any plugs that you have so people can check you out and follow some of your content?
Yes, I have a YouTube. It's the Naked Intelligence YouTube. There's nothing else called Naked Intelligence, so it should pop up. I also started doing another podcast. Been doing it for 2 years now with 2 other gentlemen. It's just a collaboration of Nick Scorpion with Random Insanity Podcast. So I don't, wherever you post this, I'll post all the links and everything. You can look up Nicole Marie or Nick Scorpion on Facebook, Naked Nick on Instagram, _naked_Nick.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on, and
Thank you for having me.
And hopefully we'll talk again soon. Peace.